Hello, my name is Annie Bosmans, and I'm running for the St. Anthony New Brighton School Board. My husband Mark and I moved our family here in 2020 after falling in love with a little grandma house we dreamed of fixing up and making our own. We didn't move far, just 6 blocks from Northeast Minneapolis, but almost immediately I noticed how different it felt here. Quieter, calmer, a little more like small town life tucked inside the city. I'm the proud mom of 4 kids, Cal, Alma, Loretta, and Pippa. And like many parents, I've had a front row seat to the joys and the challenges of raising children in this moment. I've also had the unique perspective of being both a parent and an educator. My degree is in early childhood education, and for several years I ran a successful infant and toddler childcare program in Northeast Minneapolis, before primarily staying home with my own young children. Even then, my home is often filled with laughter and chaos of other families' kids I supported. These experiences instilled in me a deep belief that education is the foundation of a thriving community. When families and teachers are supported, kids thrive. And when kids thrive, communities flourish. But like many of you, I've seen troubling shifts in our schools. Teachers leaving abruptly, families voicing concerns, and the quiet strain showing on educators' faces. As a former teacher, I know educators don't walk away from their students lightly. When they do, it's a sign that they don't feel safe enough or supported to stay. That's why I stepped into leadership with the Sanby Parent Coalition for Teachers and Students last spring. Together with parents, educators, and neighbors, I've listened to stories, gathered data, analyzed district policies, and advocated for transparency and accountability. Through that work, one thing has become clear. We are a small but mighty district, and we have every opportunity to build schools that truly reflect the strength of this community. So why am I running for school board? Because I believe our schools are the heart of St. Anthony. When they are strong, our whole community is strong. And right now, we need to rebuild trust, support our teachers, and make sure every student feels valued, safe, and capable of success. My vision is simple but powerful. Schools where equity and excellence live side by side. Teachers who are supported, respected, and able to stay long-term. Students who are given what they need, whether that's more support, more challenge, or simply being seen for who they are. Parents and community members who feel welcome, engaged, and heard. I don't claim to have all of the answers. What I do have is the ability to listen deeply, to ask thoughtful questions, and bring people together to find solutions. I strive to be a bridge builder and a peacemaker, someone who doesn't just keep the peace, but works through challenges so that stronger relationships and better outcomes can emerge. At the end of the day, leadership is about showing up alongside people, not above them, and helping them reach their fullest potential. That's what I want for our teachers. That's what I want for our students. And that's what I want for this district. My name is Annie Bosmans, and I would be honored to earn your vote for the St. Anthony New Brighton School Board. Together, let's build the schools and the community that our kids and our teachers deserve. You can find more information about me and what I stand for at www.schoolboardannie.com. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Overman, and I'm running for re-election to the St. Anthony New Brighton School Board. I'm seeking the 2-year term created by the resignation of Ben Phillip this past summer. I'm an 11-year resident of St. Anthony. I moved here in 2014 with my wife, Marnie, and our 2 kids, Maud and Malone. They were 3 and 1 at the time, and now Malone is a 7th grader at Sam's, and Maud has begun her freshman year at the high school, which is something I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Like so many of us, we were drawn to the small town feel of this little nook within the cities, and of course, the schools. After we moved, we soaked in Village Fest, the Italian dinner at homecoming, the sounds of the marching band coming down the streets in the summer. This place felt like magic, and I wanted to do what I could to ensure it continued to feel that way. Since arriving, I've served on the Early Childhood Advisory Board. As a volunteer in Wilshire Park classrooms, I've taken the stage with the St. Anthony Community Theater. I was a treasurer and event chair for the Sanby Foundation, part of the leadership team of the Northeast Voyagers, and was a substitute teacher in the district for several years. These were all stepping stones that led me to serve on the school board starting in 2022. I believe in the value of public education and the importance of its role as a pillar in a strong society. I'm a product of public education myself. My mom was a teacher, and we've chosen to have our kids attend St. Anthony schools at every level: ECFE, preschool, elementary, middle, and high school. While I don't have a professional background in education, the role of the board is governance and guidance, and I do feel I have the skills to offer a well-rounded board. First, I have a calm and rational approach to problem solving. The role of the board is broad. We can't be experts in every subject, but I'm a level head in the room with the ability to listen, dissect problems, and look for solutions. I believe in respectful dialogue, encouraging others to share their point of view, and that problems are best solved with the mentality of playing with cards face up on the table. Second, my continuation on the school board would provide stability in a challenging time. We've had a change in principals at 2 schools, experienced teachers have left our district, and test scores at a district level show we're not where we need to be in getting kids to grade level standards in reading, math, and science. It's a difficult moment, and with my term expiring, it simply doesn't feel right to say, sorry folks, that's my time, good luck sorting all this out. I'm here running for re-election because we're in the middle of something, and I'm asking voters for the opportunity to continue to do the work. Third, I believe in a long-term view. We're stewards passing through, and we're obligated to do our best to leave the district in the strongest position we can for those who come after. This means taking the steps to ensure financial stability, maintaining and updating facilities, and investing in technology and curriculum so our teachers and students stay up to date. Also, as part of my long-term view, I'm running for the 2-year seat because I think having an experienced school board member in a shorter-term role helps solve the issue of the learning curve required by the position. I've left my expiring 4-year term open for a new member of the board to come in to have the appropriate window to develop. They can build their knowledge, gain experience, and have the needed runway to get up to speed. And if I'm re-elected, the community gets the benefit of a board member in a 2-year role who is ready to continue day one. I think a well-built board has a variety of backgrounds. My career has been in the business world, and my work in long-term planning, data and financial analysis, and my experience making hard decisions and wading through the gray areas has and will continue to benefit the district if I'm re-elected. I want to say thank you for your time and listening to what I have to say. To learn more, please visit my website at ilikemike282.com and send me a note if you have any questions. I hope I see you around town. Please say hi if you catch me out walking my dogs around the neighborhood, and thank you all again. It's been a privilege to serve these past 4 years. I love our community, and I want to do what I can to keep it strong.
My name is Daniel Turner, and I'm running for St. Anthony New Brighton School Board, ISD 282. Specifically, I'm running in this special election to replace Ben Phillip, who resigned this past June. So today I want to share a bit about who I am and why I'm running. I was born on a farm in northwestern Minnesota and eventually relocated to Hutchinson, Minnesota, where my dad was the school custodian and my mom stayed at home raising us 5 boys. My wife also grew up in a small town in Minnesota where her father taught music in the public school system. After getting married, we moved to Boston, where I began graduate school in chemistry at MIT. From there, I did a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Toronto, and then became a professor at New York University, NYU. We've had several career transitions and experienced life in diverse cities. However, our Midwestern roots have guided us throughout our journey, and we attribute much of our fulfillment to a strong educational experience and community as we grew up. Currently, I'm a scientist and I work remotely through Boise State University. Emily and I have 2 kids, Will and Owen, who both attend school here in the village. During the pandemic, we decided that with remote jobs, we should move back to Minnesota to be closer to family. Our key parameters as we resettled were finding a walkable community with strong schools, and St. Anthony was a natural choice, and we love this community for many of the same reasons that you likely do. My family and my experience with high-quality public education in Minnesota are what ground me and inform why we chose to make St. Anthony our home. Now I want to explain why I'm running in this election. The first motivation was hearing about multiple teachers resigning mid-year over the past few years. As a teacher myself, I can say with confidence that every teacher I know would not resign like that unless the situation were severe. Second, I had heard from several teachers about the burden of what is now called effective instruction. While the goal seems laudable, which is improving teaching methods, the teachers with whom I've spoken describe it as burdensome compliance paperwork, and, concerningly, after all this time of trying to implement it, there's still a lack of clarity about what this program actually is. Finally, I have concerns about the daily use of technology such as iPads in the elementary classrooms. While there are probably a few educational uses of technology, our youngest students would benefit from reducing screen time. Each of these items resulted in me paying more attention to how and where decisions like these were being made. During the June 3rd board meeting, when Chair Phillip announced his resignation, he called for someone with renewed energy and a renewed presence to serve as his replacement, and I felt compelled to act. A few community members who knew my background as a scientist, an educator, a parent, and a product of public schools were very encouraging of the idea, saying the board would benefit from a scientist who's trained to be objective and evaluate ideas based on data, someone who has taught in university classrooms, and someone who has worked in and seen a variety of educational settings. The more I thought about it, the more it felt like I'm the right person for the district at this important moment. I've been endorsed by the St. Anthony New Brighton Parent Coalition. That's all those maroon yard signs that popped up this past spring talking about needing to support our teachers now. I'm also proud to have obtained the endorsement of Savvy, the teachers union. I value transparency, accountability, and support for teachers and students. I believe in the value of a Minnesota publication because I have seen firsthand that it can help students achieve their dreams. As a public institution, I believe we should both support and challenge every student to bring out their best. As you consider participating in this election, I ask for your support and your vote. I know we are all invested in ensuring the success of our students, creating a space where they can achieve their hopes and dreams. I believe I can help make that possible, and I look forward to serving you in our unique and special community. I hope to see you around this fall as I get to know more members of our community and hear your thoughts about the future of our schools. Feel free to check out and share my website, turner282.com. Thank you.